Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing great. Glad to be here. Obviously, we're at the point now where it's obviously game week. A lot of respect for our opponent. This will be my 7th time coaching against them in the past 10 years. So obviously, it's a great program. They have a good history going against a talented team that really should have won 10 games last year. They had some really close games, and they have a quarterback that brings a lot to the table. It's exciting. Obviously excited to get back into William Bryce and to be out in front of our fans, which we have the best ones in the country, in my opinion. I really feel like it's a lot to be excited for. Any questions?
Clayton, you mentioned last week about the family atmosphere of the defense, and you specifically said that's why we don't want to mess with that depth chart. Mm-hmm. Now that it's out, have you seen any change in that family atmosphere, or does it mean anything?
Nah, whenever you have a strong family, I mean, you really know what's going on. There should be no surprises. Should be no, I thought this, I thought that. So really our coaches have done a good job of preparing our guys and informing them of where they stand. And that's what we do as a family. We make sure we have tough conversations and we have fun. We get out there, but we all know that it's going to take all of us. This is a long road. It's not. It's really not about what's right now. I'm really more interested in which players are going to finish the ball games for us. Obviously every game we're going to play this year is going to come down to the fourth quarter. You guys seen the schedule, so it is what it is. But who's going to finish the football game? I'm not worried about who starts it. I mean, anybody can go start a football game.
I guess kind of along those lines, when it comes to your rotation on the defensive line,
Yep.
that's the biggest thing is just over the course of a game saying like, hey, these two guys may not have started, but they've given us some better snaps. Is that how you sort of build towards the third and fourth quarter when you're running those guys out there?
Yes, it's a little bit like that. I will say that, obviously, some guys are deserving of starts and some guys aren't, but I think all of our guys have put the work in to deserve reps and deserve some significant playing time. Then as the game goes on, as we evaluate as coaches, that is really up to us to make a decision who's going to finish the game for the Gamecocks. And our coaches are smart. We understand. Our players understand. It's really when you're out there, take advantage of it, do your job, play as hard as you can. And really talking about the word rotation, it really is a good feeling. Normally we don't have a big rotation, but now we have to have those conversations, and that's fun as well.
What have you seen from Old Dominion's offense on tape? And then this is an offensive line that obviously struggled last year. Not sure how much of an impact they'll make this year, but knowing that, do you guys try and bring more pressure on the quarterback? Mm-hmm. And if so, what's kind of, how do you go about that?
Well, let's start with their quarterback. 7, Grant Wilson he wore 13 last year, so he's wearing 7 this year. He's a intangible quarterback. You can tell he brings energy to their offense. You can tell that they rely on him when it's crunch time, and he's made some plays. He technically had 600 yards rushing last year. Then you take the sacks off, he basically had 300, but 600 yards for a quarterback is quite a bit. Obviously, their offensive line probably is hungry. I'm pretty sure up in Norfolk, up in Virginia Beach, all the articles about how their O-line gave up plenty of sacks. And when I talk about football, I talk about just team football. It's not all on the O-line. The quarterbacks, the running backs, the tight ends gave up sacks too. So I'm pretty sure they're hungry. So our guys are hungry as well. But this is a good football team that has skill. Like I said, this is my 7th time playing them. You're going to have to play football. Virginia Beach is known for one of the hotbeds of talent in all sports. So they might not have all the Power 5 players or Power 4, but they have talent based off their location.
Dowell was in here a second ago saying he feels like he has to adjust faster when he's coaching in week 1 just because you don't have the tape to go off what your eyes are seeing. Mm-hmm. Do you feel the same way about coaching in week 1?
I do. There's definitely something to that. I mean, coaches, they don't just sit around and not work on the off season. It's called the off season for a reason. We all go out and try and improve our product on offense or defense. I'm pretty sure those coaches went out and did some things, and they're a replica of Tennessee's offense, which is spread and tempo and spread you out. So pretty sure they've done their homework and they probably want to get better as well.
Are you at liberty to disclose who's going to have the green dot on their helmet on Saturday?
I'm not at liberty. I'd rather not do that, to be honest with you, Hale. But our guys are all capable. Let's start there. And really, I'm going to put, based on the location of the player, whoever's in the middle of the defense, that's the best place to put the green dot. Because if you tell one guy, if you say publicly one guy's a green dot, that's sometimes people look at that the other guy's not a green dot type player. I've been talking to NFL scouts all month, and they keep asking, is there a green dot? Well, all my guys are capable of a green dot, but the green dot is going to go to the guys in the best location to communicate to most of the players.
So I would imagine a green dot player is a guy who can communicate and knows his stuff and that type of deal.
Absolutely.
What have you seen from JT Gear so far in camp, and what's really stood out about his progress this year?
One is availability. He was able to be available for us most of the training camp, and the way we rotated some things this fall camp. I mean, guys, it's all about who was the best at the last time we was out in a 11-on-11 situation, and JT, obviously you saw the depth chart. His name was at the top of it as in the OR, and we're still competing. But what I've seen the most out of him is just his availability, his attention to detail, and his ability to take the meeting room to the field.
Sorry for another green dot question. So does it have to be one guy for the whole game? Or, do you have to look, because you can't have two on the field at one time, or do guys switch helmets? Do you have to have a GA that's the green dot lookout guy? I mean, how do you go about doing that?
That's a great question, Jordan. We did that run this week because obviously if one linebacker, I'm not going to have any type of rule to where you guys can't play together because of this green dot rule. So we have 3 linebackers that have multiple helmets. So we have 3 guys that have the radio helmet, 3 guys that have a radio backup, and then a non-radio helmet. So one guy has 3 helmets, 3 different colors, or how many different colors we have. So that's up to Larry Waters and Shula Hayes to manage all that stuff. But and Rex, we had a long talk yesterday about how we're going to work that. But we're going to get it done. And I watched the Georgia Tech Florida State game. I saw one of their equipment guys switch a helmet in the middle of the play. I was like, okay, so we need to start working this right now. But it's worked out well this week, and it's exciting. It's definitely an advantage for us in regards to just communicating. But that 15 seconds cutoff, man, I tell you, it's pretty funny. But
going off of that, sorry.
that's fine.
Like Dowell was talking about how he has to sort of learn how much Lenoris wants to hear, how much he can take. Like, is it stressful in the sense knowing that, like, whoever does wear that green dot, like, they might want more or less than somebody else? Like, because it's more varied, I guess.
That's a really good question. I remember when we first did them in the spring, I can tell that it was a lot. You know what I mean? As far as they're trying to look at the defense, talk to their teammates, and then I'm in their ear. So, and I know you probably don't think I talk a lot, but I talk a ton when I'm out there on the football field. It's nonstop. But I'm definitely having some type of empathy in regards if I'm a player, if someone's in my ear. So I'm only saying a couple things, the things that I need to say, and I kind of hush and let him do his thing. But you can definitely talk too much. There's definitely you can definitely do that. Thank you, guys. See you guys Saturday.